this up. They leave it a mess. Let me move this around here. How's everybody doing? I want to talk about things. As I get older, things start to bug me a lot. And one of the things is standing in lines. I can't stand standing in lines, especially at McDonald's. Can you believe you stand in line at McDonald's? It's not Walmart. People look at me like I'm a greeter. Oh, hi, welcome to Walmart. Put your stinking order in. I can't take the lines at McDonald's. One time I was in there, and there's a guy standing in line in front of me, and he's looking around. He's looking around, and it's like it's first time there. I'm like, my God, you're an adult. This is McDonald's. Were you born Amish? And then he tries to justify being in there and looking around. He starts pointing things out like, oh, there's the new soda machine. There's the bathroom. There's the fire exit. You never know. And I'm like, yeah, you never know. And then he's looking around and the cashier calls him. Goes, you're next. And he's like, me? And he walks up and he's looking around. There is a 98-inch full-screen TV on the wall that he can't see. He's still looking around. They have pictures of beautiful hamburgers, golden rolls of French fries, and these fillet of fish swimming by. I should have ate before I came here. But he didn't see it, and he stands there, and he looks at it, and he goes, let's see what they got. I'm like, what they got? They discovered their menu in a cave. What they got? Just pick something out. And then the guy looks at me, and he goes, oh, look, there's a new value meal. Then another time I was in there, and there's this young couple. They're giggling, they're holding hands, and they're just talking to each other, and they're looking at each other's eyes, and they're groping each other. It was disgusting. They still haven't picked out what they wanted. And then she starts whispering to him. She goes, oh, I'm so glad you brought me here. I'm so glad we came here. I'm like, what is this, your first line date? Suck it up, man. Take her to Cracker Barrel. and then they get up to the cashier. And she goes, so what do you want? And the guy goes, oh, whatever you want. She goes, no, whatever you want. He goes, no, whatever you want. I said, listen. Just buy what I want and get to the back of the line. And then one time I was standing in line, and I don't know what it is when you're standing in line with your wife, they got to talk about the mother-in-law, right? They got to start talking about mother-in-law, life, things you got to do, the visa bill, things like that. I just want to focus, pick my chicken McNuggets, and get out of there. And she starts talking about mom, and I said, listen, we're getting up there, and she goes, yes, I'll go grab a seat. I go, what do you want? And she goes, just order what I usually get. All right, let's talk about your mother some more. Stand here, and let's talk about your mother. So we get to the cashier. And I go, well, I want my McNuggets. I turn to her, what do you want? And she goes, oh, the usual. Well, the Happy Meal didn't work. I told her she could keep the toy. And then the other thing I don't like is lines at the airport, the TSA. I travel a lot for my job, and I run into lines at the TSA. And people just don't pay attention or don't listen. I don't understand. They sit there and they say, take your coats off, right? Take your coats off. This one lady goes, TSA guy goes, take your coat off. Well, she started taking it off. She starts taking it off. dancing, takes it, whips it around, slaps it on the conveyor belt. And I'm like, oh my God. I said, just take it off. Well, she kept on going. By the time she got to the other side, she had a wad of $1 bills. And then the shoes. Ladies, I love boots just like the next person. But why don't you wear normal boots with zippers? No, they got to be a Dominic's or something. They got them with the ties going up and going all the way up to the knee. And then they're sitting there, they're taking off. I'm like, I got loafers. I can go ahead. And then they can't get them off. They untie them, and they're sitting there and pulling them off. I saw this once. 2 people are helping them. Just throw her over. So I get to the airport. I get to the TSA, and so I'm hungry. And lo and behold, there's a McDonald's with a line. Thank you.